Good morning, California. I'm Neil Fornashari, and I would like to welcome you and thank you for tuning in to the California Citizens Redistricting Commission Communities of Interest Input Meeting for July 22nd, 2021. Myself and Commissioner Ray Kennedy will be co-hosting today's meeting. So I'll start by calling the meeting to order and ask Ravi to call roll, please.
Thank you, Chair. Commissioner Kennedy,
Here.
Commissioner Lamont,
Here.
Commissioner Sadwani,
Here.
Commissioner Sanai,
Here.
Commissioner Taylor,
Present.
Commissioner Toledo,
Here.
Commissioner Turner, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Yee,
Here.
Commissioner Ahmad,
Here.
Commissioner Akutagawa, Commissioner Anderson,
Here.
Commissioner Fernandez,
Presente.
and Commissioner Fornashari.
I am here.
Roll call is complete, Chair.
Thank you, Ravi. I will start by sharing a little bit about the commission. Every 10 years, after the federal government publishes updated census information, California must redraw the boundaries of its congressional, state senate, state assembly, and state board of equalization districts so that the districts correctly reflect the state's population. In 2008, California voters authorized the creation of the commission when they passed the Voters First Act. It authorized the commission to draw new district lines for state senate, state assembly, and state board of equalization districts. In 2010, the Congressional Voters First Act added the responsibility of drawing congressional districts to the commission. The 14-member commission is made up of 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats, and 4 not affiliated with either of those 2 parties. The commission must draw the district lines in conformity with strict, nonpartisan rules designed to create districts of relatively equal population that will provide fair representation for all Californians. When we receive the census data, the commission begins drawing maps using 6 line drawing criteria as outlined in the California Constitution. One of these is minimizing the divisions of counties, cities, neighborhoods, and communities of interest to the extent possible. We can obtain the city and county information from those jurisdictions, but we need the neighborhood and communities of interest information from Californians directly. That's why we have launched these communities of interest input sessions, to get valuable information from you directly. We encourage all Californians to participate in this process. If you would rather submit community of interest input over the internet, you can do so from our website or by visiting drawmycacommunity.org. That's drawmycacommunity.org. Skip the line, go online. Now I will call on all commissioners to introduce themselves and to say hello. To see the biographies for all 14 commissioners, for additional information or to sign up for our emails, please visit our website at wedrawthelinesca.org. That's www.wedrawthelinesca.org. Please also follow the California Citizens Redistricting Commission on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube at We Draw the Lines CA. That's at We Draw the Lines CA, as in California. There you will find a lot of useful information about redistricting and updates on the commission. I will begin by asking my co-chair, Commissioner Kennedy, to introduce himself.
Thank you, Commissioner Fornashari. I am Ray Kennedy. I'm joining today's meeting from my home in Morongo Valley. Morongo Valley is an unincorporated Joshua Tree Gateway community in the rural area of southern San Bernardino County. I've lived here for a little over a year after being in Palm Springs for 15 years. And I've had the pleasure of working with Commissioner Fornashari, leading the outreach effort to the Central Coast counties. So thank you. Welcome, everyone, and looking forward to hearing from you all.
Thank you, Commissioner Kennedy. Commissioner Ahmed.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm very excited to hear about your communities of interest and looking forward to today's meeting.
Commissioner Kutagawa.
Hi, good afternoon, California. Looking forward to hearing about communities of interest in the Central Coast, particularly Monterey. I spend a lot of time there. And so looking forward to hearing what you all have to say.
For him, speaking Japanese is like a walk in the park.
Commissioner Anderson.
Good afternoon, California. My name is Jane Anderson. I'm a commissioner coming to you from, well, I live in Berkeley, California, just a little bit north of your area. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from everyone on the Central Coast about what your communities of interest are and what you have to say for the commission.
Thank you, Commissioner Fernandez.
Buenas tardes a todos, soy Alicia Fernández del condado de Yolo y vengo aquí de una comunidad de agricultura y estoy muy ansiosa por escuchar acerca de sus comunidades, especialmente los que viven en la costa central. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alicia Fernandez from Yolo County. I'm looking forward to hearing about your communities, and I've got to tell you, some of my favorite places to visit are these counties in Zone E. I've had my son plus many nieces and nephews that have gone to some of the schools in your area. So looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Commissioner Lamons. Okay. No Commissioner Lamons. Commissioner Sadwani.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah Sadwani. I'm calling in today from my home in La Cañada, just near the Angeles National Forest in Los Angeles County. Really excited to be here and learning more about the Central Coast. Thank you.
Commissioner Sinai.
Saludos a la costa del más al norte y a todos de California, de la costa de California Sur. Soy Patricia Sinai y es un honor servirles desde San Diego. Hi, those in the further north on the coast, from the southern coast. I am Patricia Sinai, and it is an honor to serve you from San Diego.
Commissioner Taylor.
Good afternoon. I echo the sentiments of my fellow commissioners. I am Derek Taylor, LA County resident, live in the city of Los Angeles. Anxious to visit the Central Coast with my 17-year-old, exploring these colleges, nudging him in that direction. So I'm anxious or eager to hear feedback and input from this region. Thank you.
Commissioner Toledo.
Buenas tardes. Soy Pedro Toledo, and my name is Pedro Toledo, and I'm from Petaluma, California. That's where I live, in Sonoma County, in the heart of wine country up in Northern California. I'm looking forward to hear all of your community of interest input and enjoy the evening with you. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Let's see, I don't believe Commissioner Turner is able to join us tonight. I don't hear her, so Commissioner Vasquez. I expect she'll be joining us later. Commissioner Yee.
Good afternoon, California, and especially the Central Coast, and especially those in Monterey, because we owe our existence to you. You're where California got started way back when, first capital of California, and the Constitutional Convention that created the state. I'm here in Oakland, my hometown, and very jealous of the Steinbeck Museum in Salinas, because somehow in Oakland we haven't come up with anything comparable for our native son writer, Jack London. So I hope to be inspired by your museum someday to create something honoring him. Thank you.
Commissioner Lamont.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon, California. I'm sure my name was probably called earlier. I got a little distracted, so my apologies. Really looking forward to hearing from all of you today. I'm hailing today from still in Los Angeles, trying to get home to the Coachella Valley, hopefully tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to all of your input, and welcome.
Thanks, everyone. I'm Neil Fornashari. I'm coming to you from Tracy in San Joaquin County in the Central Valley. I'm very excited about our meeting this afternoon and hearing what's important to all of you in the Central Coast counties. So this meeting is primarily for the communities of interest testimony focused on Monterey, San Benito, San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, and Ventura counties and surrounding areas. However, anyone in California can call to provide input. General public comment will take place at the end of the meeting. Although the Commission has divided up California into 11 zones, that in no way is related to or reflective of redistricting lines or boundaries. The Commission created these zones to assist commissioners and staff in their outreach efforts only, and not as an indication of planned boundaries. Today, we are joined by our line drawing team, Haystack DNA, and Q2 Data and Research LLC, who will be displaying a map of the areas that attendees describe. Please start with the area you would like to discuss and be as specific as possible about the boundaries of where your community is located. It is our goal to find the area on the map you would like to discuss prior to your testimony. If you are within a specific neighborhood of a large city, please mention it by name. Once we are able to locate your area, your 3-minute timer will begin. Attendees will not be able to share their screen. We are joined today by Katie, our comment moderator, who will be introducing attendees when it is their turn to speak. When you join the meeting, please use the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen to enter the queue. If you have registered for a time slot, we encourage you to call in during your appointment time slot. When it is your turn to speak, Katie will be identifying you by your unique ID number. You will be reconnected to the session with the ability to enable your audio and video. The comment moderator will assign you a speaker order number before you begin speaking. So please make note of this for future reference. You will be able to use this number to identify your community of interest testimony on our website at a future date. The Commission will be enforcing a 3-minute time limit. There will be a warning at 30 seconds and 15 seconds remaining. At the beginning of your input, you will see a map on the screen. Please remind the mapper what area you would like to see on the screen and be as specific as possible about the boundaries of where your community is located. Registration is not required to participate in this public meeting. The public has the option of calling in during this meeting and to get in the queue to speak. The call-in information and access code is listed on the live stream. While there are no clear rules on how to define your community of interest, we've identified ways for you to describe your community. Begin with your city or county. Mention the street names and the significant locations in your neighborhood to help us identify the parameters of your community. What are your shared interests? What brings you together? What is important to your community? Are there nearby areas you want to be within a district? Are there areas you don't want to be in a district with? Why or why not? Has your community come together to advocate for important services, better schools, roads, or healthcare centers in your neighborhood? Also, we invite you to use the Communities of Interest tool to draw a map and describe your community by visiting drawmycacommunity.org. Skip the line, go online. Submit your community of interest input today. We will now begin the public input session, and I will pass this over to Katie, our comment moderator. We will start with people who are registered and then open the phone lines if there is time before the next session. I do want to make one comment before we start. All of the appointments have been taken for this session. And so we will take the appointments before we take phone calls. But I want to encourage those who are calling in to go to drawmycacommunity.org, skip the line, and go online. With that, I'll turn it over to Katie, our comment moderator, to read the instructions.
Thank you, Chair. Welcome to the public input session. Please use the raise your hand button at the bottom of your screen to enter the comment queue. When it is your turn to speak, you will be identified by your assigned unique ID number, which you were emailed yesterday. You will be reconnected to the session with the ability to enable your own video and/or audio. You will then be assigned a speaker order number before you begin speaking. Please make a note of your speaker order number for future reference. The Commission will be enforcing a 3-minute time limit. There will be a warning at 30 seconds and 15 seconds remaining. It is the Commission's goal to find the area on the map you would like to discuss prior to your testimony. If you are within a specific neighborhood of a large city, please mention it by name. Once we are able to locate your area, your 3-minute testimony will begin. Attendees will not be able to share their screen. At the end of your public input or at the end of your time, you will be reconnected in a listen and view only mode. At the beginning of your input, please remind the mapper of what area you would like to see on the screen. Right now in the queue, we have 005, and up next will be 007. 005, I will be promoting you now. Your speaker order number is number 1. If you will please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you will please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours. The floor is yours, 005, if you will unmute yourself. Your speaker order number is number 1, if you'll please make note of that.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Okay. I got a little confused here, but I'm doing good.
Perfect. If you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I am living in the Southern Ventura County area, actually adjacent to Los Angeles County along the 101 corridor. I'm in Westlake Village portion of Ventura County, actually within the city limits of the city of Thousand Oaks. Does that help?
Yes, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, my time is starting.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Sally Hibbets, and my husband and I have been residents of the Conejo Valley area in Ventura County for over 50 years. We are districted now for the 26th Congressional District. Since 1986, we have resided in the Westlake Village portion of the city of Thousand Oaks, which abuts the Ventura and LA County line. In fact, LA County is only 1.8 miles from my home. I mention these geographic markers in order for you to better understand just how physically close we live to LA County. However, I wish to make it extremely clear that under no circumstances do either of us identify as LA County residents. All of our public services, including schools, courts, library, hospital, fire department, sheriff, etc., are totally based within Ventura County. We are proud residents of this county and do not want our area to be reapportioned off to be attached elsewhere. Since we lived in Thousand Oaks for so long, we have a clear recollection of the days when our city was split into separate congressional districts, instead of like it is now with all Conejo Valley folks having the same representative. In the past, there were clear district lines drawn right through our city, much to the detriment of our area. The two political parties were each represented on the opposite sides of that very line. This was often difficult for people to deal with, never knowing which representative they needed to approach for their assistance. We were a divided city for our congressional representation, and which this did not provide a positive balance nor fairness for area voters. There are many mutual services and identifying characteristics which provide powerful reasons to retain the status quo for the 26th. One of the biggest is our very extensive open space land, which rings our entire city and provides essential recreational activities as well as beauty to our landscape. Unfortunately, this has also provided us with the negative aspects of being very vulnerable to wildfires. There are also numerous economic activities that bind us directly to Ventura County, with the wonderful agricultural land being very important. We can easily obtain fresh grown items within a few miles of my home, right from the Ventura fields. Our medical insurance is through Kaiser Permanente, and they have built a large new facility in Ventura where we get our services.
30 seconds.
We do not use LA County services at all. The congressional redistricting for the city of Thousand Oaks needs to remain as a whole and attached to the base of Ventura County. Therefore, please retain the status quo of this 26th district. Thank you very much for allowing this opportunity.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Right now will be 002, and up next will be 006. I apologize. I'm going to have to recant that, what I just said. My cue was scrolled down incorrectly. Right now will be 007, and up next will be 018. 007, I will be promoting you now. (007) Your speaker order number will be number 2, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello. My name is Leanna Brand. I live in Simi Valley, the Simi Valley portion, which is right now in District 25. I live on the far west end of Simi Valley, near Tierra Rajada Boulevard. And I would like to discuss the redistricting for Simi Valley. We are currently, a portion of our city is in CA 25. The entirety of the rest of CA 25 is in Los Angeles County. And because of that, Simi Valley has been utterly ignored. We have issues in terms of services. We have issues in terms of voter registration, of types of voting, of veteran services, and a lot of other things. And representation being tied to Los Angeles, and if you look at the entirety of what is CA25 right now, there is a very large portion of it, which is even in Santa Clarita, Palmdale, and Lancaster. So for the office of our current representative is in Santa Clarita. There is a very small office in Simi Valley, which is manned by one person 3 days a week, but we can get utterly no services out of it. During COVID, in particular, there was misinformation coming out from our congressional representative because all of the information for LA County was completely different than it was for Ventura County. And therefore, there was confusion where to get vaccines. There was confusion about where to be tested. There was confusion about most everything. Aside from that, also currently, not all of Simi Valley is represented by CA25. There is a portion across the street from my house where it's the Julia Brownlee District, CA26. So my suggestion and my fervent hope is that we put Ventura County sections with Ventura County residents. It would help us tremendously in terms of being able to advocate for infrastructure, for everything. Right now, our congressional representative is working on infrastructure stuff, and he's talking about the 14 freeway, which is 50 miles away from us. So it really just doesn't, we don't feel like we're being represented. So I really hope that through this redistricting, you'll really consider our Ventura County lines, because that's the only way. We've had voter registrations lost. We've had had people sent Los Angeles County voter registration forms. So please, I just really hope that you'll consider putting Simi Valley together, all of the city together, and putting it all with Ventura County. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Miranda.
Thank you so much. Right now will be 018, and up next will be 002. 018, I will be promoting you now. Your speaker order number will be number 3, if you will please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
You hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I am representing the San Luis Obispo County area, so just that whole county region. And should I start?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. Members of the Redistricting Commission, my name is Brendan Pringle. I am the Director of Operations for Visits Locale, the countywide destination marketing and management organization for the entire San Luis Obispo County. As we define in our strategic plan, we provide leadership in destination management and community engagement to enhance the quality of life for residents and quality experience for visitors. The countywide tourism industry represented more than $2 billion in annual economic impact pre-pandemic, and that number is still $1.2 billion as of 2020. We support more than 2,000 lodging properties, several thousand non-lodging partners, and about 18,000 San Luis Obispo County jobs. It is critical that our county is kept whole and not divided between multiple assembly, senate, or congressional districts so that we can effectively advocate and represent it. Over the years, we've been able to develop strong partnerships with elected officials and their staff in these districts based on the relationships that we have with our lodging community and tourism partners. Our lodging and non-lodging partners span from the north end of the county all the way to the southern border with Santa Barbara, and we all share one common interest of inspiring travel and fostering our unique experiences to create lifelong ambassadors in economic growth for San Luis Obispo County. Through our unified voice, we can protect and promote the county's tourism industry and enhance our quality of life. As we like to say, tourism is economic development. and we are at the heart of it. By keeping the county whole and not divided, we can ensure that our industry is heard. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your input.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 002, and up next will be 006. 002, I will be promoting you now. 002, your speaker order number is number 4, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. Yes, I'm going to be speaking on San Benito County, the entirety of San Benito County. There we go. Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Bob Tiffany, and I'm speaking on behalf of San Benito County. I'm currently the supervisor for District 4 in San Benito County, and I've been a lifelong resident. I was the 4th generation to run my family's business, Tiffany Motor Company, started in 1910, the oldest Ford dealership in California. Suffice it to say that I have very deep roots in San Benito County, and I know it and the surrounding area extremely well. With that said, I realize that some of you may not be all that familiar with our county. It's certainly much more on the map than it used to be, but there is still a significant number of people that seem to think we're somewhere in the San Joaquin Valley. We're definitely not. San Benito County is located roughly 50 miles inland from Monterey and an equal distance south of San Jose. We're part of the Central Coast area. Our county is strongly agriculturally based, although we have an increasing amount of light manufacturing that's moving into our area. Nevertheless, we currently have roughly 60% of our working population commuting out of the county, the majority to the north along 101 to Silicon Valley. Demographically, well over half of our residents are Latino, and our population is just over 60,000 people. San Benito County and our cities of Hollister and San Juan Bautista share many common interests with our neighbors in Gilroy and South Santa Clara County, in the Salinas-Monterey area just to the west of us, and with Watsonville and the Pajaro Valley in Santa Cruz County. Agriculture, of course, is one of the primary things we have in common, but we are also connected due to our traffic flow along the major transportation corridors, primarily north along 101 and to the west along 156. Hollister and San Benito County residents both work and shop in Gilroy, Morgan Hill, San Jose, and up the peninsula, as well as in Salinas, Monterey, and Watsonville. Conversely, very few people commute to or do business in Los Banos or other parts of the San Joaquin Valley, which is physically separated by a mountain range in Pacheco Pass. So although geographically San Benito County is adjacent to both Merced and Fresno counties to the east, it is in no other way connected to that area, and we should not be aligned with them during the redistricting process. The relationships with our neighbors to the west and north go much further. The local governments of the Tri-County area of San Benito, Monterey, and Santa Cruz work closely together on many issues, focusing on transportation, education, healthcare, social services, agriculture, and broadband. We collaborate together on numerous boards and commissions. The Association of Monterey Bay Area Governments and the Monterey Bay Economic Partnership are just 3 examples. And lastly, while dealing with the pandemic, our county's health department has worked hand in hand with the health departments of Monterey, Santa Cruz, and Santa Clara counties, since we all recognize how interconnected our communities and workforces are. We need to be part of the status quo. Thank you for our time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 006. And up next we will have 003. 006, I will be promoting you now. 006, your speaker order number will be number 5, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon. I'm here to discuss Map E, specifically the City of Thousand Oaks in Ventura County.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
I'm Claudia Bildela Pena, Mayor of the City of Thousand Oaks, and I'm here to represent the city and about 130,000 residents. The City of Thousand Oaks is in Ventura County between LA and Santa Barbara counties. As you develop new maps, we ask that Thousand Oaks be kept whole and within the boundaries of Ventura County, as we share the same common interest in, for example, open space, agriculture, wildfire risk, economic development, and regional problem solving. Thousand Oaks is surrounded by open space and agriculture. And in fact, there are 15,000 acres of protected open space within our planning area. And we have a joint powers with the Park District. It's called COSCA. It is a joint partnership with the Conejo Recreation and Park District, which currently owns and manages over 12,000 acres of open space. And we have more than 150 miles of trails. The city's open space abuts the Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area. And we are active supporters of wildlife preservation. Unfortunately, though, due to our geography, vegetation, and climate, Thousand Oaks is designated as a very high wildfire severity zone. And like our sister cities in Ventura County, we are prone to public safety power shutoffs. Ventura County is known as the technology corridor. Thousand Oaks is home to Amgen, Takeda, Atara, Capsida. Although the city is along the same US 101 corridor to the San Fernando Valley, which is the city of LA, we are actually vastly different in urbanization, terrain, as I just described, density and size, and we are not suited at all for LA boundaries. So Thousand Oaks shares common issues and problem solving with Ventura County in the areas of water resources, air quality, stormwater management, energy conservation, public safety, broadband, and even our support of the naval base Ventura County. Keeping our boundaries within Ventura County is absolutely essential in collaborating on common solutions. In fact, we ask that we maintain our existing boundaries because they support the cities, our ability to provide resources and services to residents for the next decade and beyond that. So again, we ask that Thousand Oaks be kept whole as we are right now and not become part of LA County. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right now we will have 003, and up next we will have 004. 003, I will be promoting you now. .003, your speaker order number will be number 6, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Hello, I would like to also address the city of Thousand Oaks in the eastern part of Ventura County.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Marianne Van Zyl, and I live in the city of Thousand Oaks in Ventura County. I'm a citizen who has been very involved in our local general plan amendment process. The city of Thousand Oaks is addressing all of the elements in our general plan. We started with a months-long process of evaluating our land use plan, and citizen input on the housing element will begin soon. Participating in this process as a citizen has really brought home how much being a resident of Thousand Oaks defines our individual identities. We have a unique history as a semi-rural town. We all love our city and see it as a unique and beautiful place to live. So I know that communities of interest, you're looking for specific communities of interest, but I would like to argue that the city of Thousand Oaks is in itself a community of interest. One of the lessons I've taken from this process is how much it is constrained by state legislation. I'm urging the commission to keep the city of Thousand Oaks whole so that our interests are represented by a single voice in the state assembly and state senate. I am also urging the commission to keep Thousand Oaks within Ventura County when it draws its boundaries. Over the course of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've coalesced as a county in our response and the development of services, specifically pandemic related. In addition, to our county services, we have developed and new shared mutual aid societies throughout the county that especially have brought our Spanish-speaking communities together. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you. Right now we have 004. And up next will be 010. 004, I will be promoting you now. 004, your speaker order number is number 7, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Great. I'll be speaking to the whole region, 6-county region, but particularly the areas of Oxnard, Santa Maria, and Salinas. Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Lucas Zucker. I'm the policy director for the Central Coast Alliance United for a Sustainable Economy, commonly known as CAUSE. Since 2001, we've worked to represent working class immigrant communities of color in the Central Coast to advance social, economic, and environmental justice. And over that time, we've engaged in voting rights advocacy in city, county, state, and federal redistricting processes throughout the region. Today, we submitted detailed written comments about communities of interest in the Central Coast region to ensure that working class immigrant communities are fairly represented. The Central Coast is a region of vast disparities between predominantly white and predominantly Latino communities, communities built on luxury tourism and communities built on industrial agriculture, and communities who enjoy our region's greatest environmental assets and those who face our greatest pollution threats. Central Coast has 3 main clusters of majority people of color communities, which should be kept together and reflected in districts. The first is in Western Ventura County, where we have the communities of the Oxnard Plain and the Santa Clara Valley, including the cities of Oxnard, Port Hueneme, El Rio, Santa Paula, Fillmore, and Piru. The second is in northern Santa Barbara County, particularly the communities of Santa Maria, Lompoc, and Guadalupe. The third is in the Salinas Valley of Monterey County and the Pajaro Valley of Santa Cruz County, including the communities of Salinas, Watsonville, Gonzales, Soledad, Greenfield, and King City. These are working class agricultural communities where the majority of our region's farm workers live. They have much higher rates than other cities in the region of immigrant families, linguistic isolation, and disparities in health, education, and housing, often double the rates of the regional average, all of which are barriers to civic participation and representation. They're also impacted by shared environmental justice challenges like groundwater depletion, oil and gas development, and heavy pesticide exposure that's uncommon in some of the more affluent parts of the region. Redistricting must reflect these communities of interest in order to adequately represent the needs of the Central Coast immigrant agricultural communities on issues spanning from farm worker rights to pesticide exposure. Communities like Oxnard, Santa Maria, and Salinas are the largest cities in our region by population, but our region's centers of political power have historically been in smaller communities with more financial resources like Thousand Oaks, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, and Monterey. Whenever possible, districts must protect the voting rights of communities with less political power by grouping them together to maximize their representation. An example where our current districts fall short is in Ventura County, where the city of Oxnard is split into 2 assembly districts, with the larger part divided from the nearby majority Latino Santa Clara Valley, cracking what could potentially be a majority people of color district in Western Ventura County. The outcome has been political representation for Oxnard, typically based in the more affluent majority white areas of Santa Barbara and Thousand Oaks. We provided extensive statistical data and mapping visualizations on the Central Coast region in our written comments submitted by email, and we'd be happy to discuss these further with commissioners if you have any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your input, and just let you know that we did receive your document today. So thank you for that.
Right now we have 010, and up next we will have 016. 010, I will be promoting you now. Your speaker order number is number 8, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours. 010.
Hello.
Hello. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I would like to address Simi Valley, the city of Simi Valley.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
My name is Jennifer Jones, and I am a resident of Simi Valley. I am hoping that we can, if possible, keep Simi Valley and Moore Park together as a community of interest. We have several joint organizations with Simi Valley and Moore Park. We have several community interests together. We are prone to wildfires, water resource. We also share our first responders resources. Our police department also helps out with the Moore Park police department when they need assistance. The same thing with the fire department. We also have a realtor organization that is Simi Valley Moore Park. We have a horse organization that's Simi Valley Moore Park. And if my estimate is correct, my understanding from just kind of glancing at the numbers from 10 years ago and then taking into consideration the natural progression of people moving, it seems like District 26 may be over the 760,000 constituents they're allowed to have. And I know that we have a sliver of Simi Valley that is in the 26th district. And I hope that you will take into consideration the joint communities of interest or joint organizations. And if the 25th is to expand, which I think it should, you will include the rest of Simi Valley and all of Moore Park, because I think it will be beneficial. We also have some synergy with Santa Clarita as well. And that's pretty much all that I have to say. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 016, and up next we will have 001. 016, I will be promoting you now. Zero 016, your speaker order number will be number 9, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Scott Landsman, and I've been a longtime resident of Simi Valley, and that's the district or the area that I would like to speak about. Your previous speaker took some of my talking points, but I think it's really important, just like some of the other speakers have brought up the similarities in other communities and how important it is to keep those communities together so that their voices are heard and not diluted. And so I would like to make that same plea for Simi Valley and even for the Moore Park area as well, in that we have a lot of shared values and shared interests. And it's really important that our voices be heard in that way and not be diluted. So it's just a very basic statement that I have. As like I said, most of the other speakers have taken my talking points. But that's what I'm hoping for, is that the commission will consider keeping all of Simi Valley together and even possibly incorporating Moore Park as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Right now we have 001, and up next will be 012. 001, I'll be promoting you now. (001), your speaker order number is number 10, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. My name is Graham Watts, and I'm calling regarding Thousand Oaks. As we've heard from prior speakers, Thousand Oaks in Ventura County, as its top contributor and partner with the Ventura County Fire Protection District, is prone to fires, power outages, and a number of local hazards. Working collectively with our police department, fire department, and other agencies, including Southern California Edison, Thousand Oaks is able to be responsive to the needs and businesses of the community in Ventura County. That would not be the case in LA County. Thousand Oaks is surrounded by open space. Public safety is a top priority, as well as environmental programs and advocacy for Thousand Oaks. Thousand Oaks is one of the safest cities in the entire nation, and maintaining that partnership with our public safety agencies is part of that. The other important part is a responsive local government, whether it's the school district, the city itself, or the park district. All of our local agencies are ethical. They follow up on all individual residential concerns, have outstanding customer service, and are responsive to the needs of our residents as a local government provider. The 10 cities and county of Ventura collaborate on transportation, tourism, economic development, and have had an excellent track record in working collectively with the county, state, and federal agencies related to COVID response. Thousand Oaks is the first city in Ventura County when coming from LA County. We are the home of the LA Rams, and we're very proud of that and our university at California Lutheran University. We have an outstanding park system, outstanding school system, and take great pride in the preservation of our local response programs and needs, and would like to maintain that, whether it's infrastructure, transportation, or beyond. I thank you for your time.
Mr. Watts, before you sign off, you mentioned 10 cities in Ventura County.
Correct.
Can you name off those 10 cities, or are there just 10 incorporated cities in Ventura County?
There are 10 cities in Ventura County. You heard about a couple of them: Simi Valley, Moore Park, Camarillo, Port Hueneme, Oxnard, Ventura, Ojai, Santa Paula, and Fillmore. I believe I covered them all. There are some unincorporated pockets, but I believe those are the 10 cities, and they all collectively work with the county on a variety of programs and issues.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right now we have 012, and up next will be 017. I would like to invite 008, 013, 014. I would like to invite those I just listed to please use the raise your hand button at the bottom of the screen as you have appointments during this session. Again, that was 008, 014, and 013. I do see your hand. And 017, your hand was up, now it's down. So I will, all right, now it's up. Perfect. 012, I will be promoting you now. Wait. I apologize. I think 008 just got. (008). Your speaker order number will be number 11. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. I am looking to discuss Ventura County, the Santa Clara Valley along the Highway 126 corridor, the cities of Santa Paula and Fillmore, and the unincorporated area of Piru.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much. Hello, good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Cristina Villaseñor. I am a current City of Fillmore Council member and a lifelong community member of the Santa Clara Valley, also known as the Heritage Valley. In terms of our common
It appears we are having some connectivity issues.
Oh.
008. Oh, there you are. You're back.
Can you hear me?
You did
Okay.
freeze, so you we will. I would assume just start over. Yes, we will just start the clock over. Just start over from the beginning.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi again, my name is Cristina Villaseñor. I am currently a Fillmore City Council member and a lifelong resident of the Santa Clara Valley. And I'd like to note our community of interest. The Valley, Santa Paula, Fillmore, and Piru is a predominant 75 to 80% Latino, Mexican, and Mexican-American working class community with deep roots in agriculture from 100 plus years ago. Families throughout these three communities, they have intermarried throughout generations, and thus there's common familiar roots spread across the valley. For one example of my family, my father is from Santa Paula. His family came in 1939 as farm workers. My mom is from Fillmore. Her family came also in the early 1930s as farm workers, and they met at the local community college at Ventura College. This is a common story from 50 years ago to repeated throughout the years since. Some of our common characteristics, as I mentioned, Ventura College is our community college feeder here in the Santa Clara Valley. And there's a small satellite campus in Santa Paula that students from Fillmore and Piru also attend to. I know we wanted to mention also sort of what are the common things. Yes, we do have common sport leagues. People, kids play across Santa Paula, Fillmore, and Piru in different sports. There's a Heritage Valley or Santa Clara Valley youth track team. Our shopping, whether it's groceries, supermarkets, boutiques, and restaurants, this is all integrated throughout the Santa Clara Valley. We have a Heritage Valley Tourism Bureau, the Fillmore and Western Railroad, which runs from Fillmore to Santa Paula and back. And also you can you could put into a blank, I belong to the Santa Clara Valley blank club and just sort of fill in the blank. So there's also the Santa Clara Valley River Conservancy. We have one common hospital, Santa Paula Hospital, which is part of the Ventura County Medical Center. And more commonly, our local chambers of business are starting to work more together also to have sort of an integrated businesses across the Santa Clara Valley. And, this is, as mentioned previously by Mr. Zucker from CAUSE, that we have been historically also a community
30 seconds.
that, thank you, that particularly during this pandemic has seen the disparities in healthcare in terms of farm worker health, in terms of economic ability and mobility. And so we want you to consider keeping this valley together, the Santa Clara Valley together. Thank you so much. And also to connect it westward towards Ventura and the Oxnard area, not east towards Palmdale, Lancaster, or anywhere on that sort.
Time.
Thank you.
Right now, I would like to go to 012, as I do not believe they meant to lower their hand previously. So right now will be 012, and then up next will be 013. Yes, 012, I do see your hand. So right now will be 012, and then up next will be 013. 012, I will be promoting you now. Zero 12. Your speaker order number is number 12. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today. Oh, you can also enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you'd like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Hello, I would like to discuss Simi Valley. First of all, and I'm only mentioning this because I've heard other people mention this when they speak about their community. I'm a person of color. I'm a Black American. And I moved to Simi Valley in 2006, not exactly knowing what to expect. But since then, my family has been met with friendship and love and support, unlike anything that, that I've seen in the community ever before. And it is a problem for us to not be connected with parts of Simi Valley. So I'm asking if the people who are making the decisions would consider uniting the entirety of Simi Valley for one district, and then also combining us with Moore Park. There is a sisterhood that we have with Moore Park, and everyone has mentioned the joint organizations, but we have so many organizations that are Simi Valley Moore Park. And Simi Valley isn't just a city, we're a family. And Moore Park is our sister, and we just would like to be united with our family. My youngest child goes to a school, and the school is so incredibly diverse. It's not enough to say that we have Latinos at our school. We have people whose heritage is from Peru, Argentina, Chile, it's Mexico. It's just vast. And we have all different shades and colors at this one school, and we all love each other. And we just deserve to. We've had a rough year. Everybody's had a rough year since last year, and we deserve to be able to be together and unite with our sisters so that we can continue to do whatever we possibly can to make every member of our community strong. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 013, and then up next will be 014. 013, I will be promoting you now. Zero 13, your speaker order number will be 13. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
I would like to discuss Simi Valley.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I've lived in Simi Valley for over 50 years, and this is a very safe community, and we enjoy a lot of things here. We also join with Moore Park. I've heard other speakers before me, and they are also talking about joining with Moore Park. We've had part of Simi Valley cut off from CA 25, and I would ask you to please add that to CA 25. And then I would request that you consider joining Moore Park to CA 25. And having family up in the Santa Clarita Valley, I also believe that that we have interest with them and that they are part of our family and have the same type of interest. They believe in law and order. They believe in open space. And I just believe that we have a lot of things in common and would like to see us all stay together in CA 25. And with regard to our current congressperson, I believe that Simi Valley is being very well represented by that congressperson. And I know that it's a large district, but I believe that we have been very well represented and feel that we're listened to. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right now we have 014, and up next will be 017. Right now is 014, and up next will be 017. 014, I will be promoting you now. 014, your speaker order number is 14. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. And if you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yes, I'd like to speak about Thousand Oaks and the Conejo Valley. We are a unified city, and I'm on the school board, but I'm speaking on behalf of myself, not the school board. But I do want to say that the Thousand Oaks area is united. We have many organizations called Conejo Valley. We represent most of the Conejo Valley, if not all of it. And I am asking that because of the unified of the school district, the town, the city, that we keep Thousand Oaks as a whole entity and do not divide it, break it apart. And that's pretty much my comment.
So are you still there? I have a quick question.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, great. So Conejo Valley does that include other towns besides Thousand Oaks?
Conejo Valley includes Westlake Village. Oak Park is part of the valley. And the western part of Agoura.
Okay.
And then, of course, Newberry Park as well, which is part of Thousand Oaks.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 017. I will be promoting you now. (017), your speaker order number is 15. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. And if you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. Commissioners, thank you for providing me the opportunity to testify today. I am Dr. Gabino Aguirre, former member of the California Citizens Redistricting Commission, serving between 2010 and 2020. Thank you for taking on this challenging and exciting task to ensure every person is able to nominate and elect the candidates of their choice. I reside in the city of Santa Paula in Ventura County. When I was elected mayor and council member in my city, I became acutely aware of gerrymandering and how it negatively impacts meaningful citizen input with dire consequences for local residents, including environmental racism. Thank you for ensuring that gerrymandering doesn't come back to California. My area of concern and my community of interest is the Santa Clara River Valley here in Ventura County. The Santa Clara River is the only remaining wild river in California. On November the 18th, 2014, there was a chemical explosion in this pristine and environmentally sensitive area at a wastewater facility that left employees and first responders, many of them firefighters, with serious injuries that affected their ability to continue working. The winds were calm on that day, but if there had been easterly winds, they would have blown highly hazardous contamination up the Santa Clara River Valley towards its 60,000 residents with tragic results. This was Ventura County's largest environmental disaster. Around this same time, our residents were able to defeat a proposal to install a peaker plant in the river valley, which would have again negatively impacted the environment for mostly Latino and farm worker residents. A project similar to the chemical facility mentioned above is now coming back to the same location where the chemical explosion occurred, which proposes to open an industrial waste treatment facility that will potentially lead to 180 daily round trips of trucks delivering hazardous waste for treatment at this facility. We once again have to play defense in confronting well-founded corporations that put profit over human life. We are counting on you to maintain this community of interest together, the Santa Clara Valley. Unfortunately, our area has historically lacked political clout due to the cracking and packing of our citizens' voters that have largely neutralized our voting power and our political power. This lack of political power bodes ill for us as we challenge and oppose this attack on our living environment. To conclude, the area in question is the Santa Clara Valley, and a map and a specific demographic and economic information has been submitted by the Santa Paula Latino Town Hall, of which I am past president. We would like for you to keep our valley together and by extension, group our valley with other farm worker and agricultural areas in the Oxnard Plains and the Santa Barbara areas of the Santa Maria Valley as proposed by CAUSE, the Central Coast United for a Sustainable Economy. So we want to thank you for allowing us to provide this input and thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Right now we have 015. I will be promoting you now. Zero 15, your speaker order number is 16, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. And if you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Richard Moore, and I live in Simi Valley. I'm a retired teacher, and I think Simi Valley and Moore Park should stay together. They share similar geography and geology. We share a college board, and that's where my kids went to college. We have lots of groups that connect both between Simi Valley and Moore Park, and Moore Park seemed to grow out of Simi Valley. So we share recreation areas, and we share a lot of other things. A lot of our social groups are connected, and also the demographics are similar. We have the same types of people. So I really think Simi Valley and Moore Park should stay together and not be divided up. It doesn't matter where, but they should stay together. They're a cohesive group. We shouldn't be divided. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to invite those in the queue to use the raise your hand button at the bottom of the screen. Those remaining in the queue. 036, I see your hand. I will be promoting you now. And 023, you will be next. Zero 36, your speaker order number will be number 17, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Good evening, panelists. My name is Rocky Rhodes, and I'm calling in about Simi Valley and Moore Park. As many of the speakers have said already, the synergies of our two communities are vast. I called in last week when you were discussing LA County because the particular interest group that I'm representing is the equestrian community, which spans Simi Valley Moore Park, but also into Santa Clarita and Palmdale. But I want to talk specifically about our communities here in Ventura County. The Simi Valley Moore Park, we share demographics, but we also share a lot of interest, as some of the speakers have said. My particular interest in the equestrian community, we have concerns over land use, open spaces, and animal rights. And we think that by being joined together in districts, we have a louder voice in affecting outcomes on any legislation regarding those things. I've always been puzzled that a small sliver of Simi Valley that contains about a third of the horses between Moore Park and Simi Valley was exited out of one of the congressional districts and thereby isolating or separating our communities. But I want to tell you about something that happened recently. In California, we have fires, and in Simi Valley and Moore Park, we have horses, and occasionally these two things meet. You'll remember the fire that raged by the Reagan Library. In that particular stretch of land, there are about 1,000 horses. And the citizens of Simi Valley and Moore Park rallied together, formed our text emergency response teams, rushed into the fire. We were able to save all but one of those horses. Our communities, our people, we work well together, and we have shared interests. And I would love to see Simi Valley kept whole, and I would love to see Simi Valley's community and Moore Park's communities join together. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 023. And then up next will be caller 0406. 023, I will be promoting you now. Zero 23, your speaker order number will be 18, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Okay. The area I'd like to cover is in Ventura County, and specifically it's the city of Ventura. My name is Sean Terrace. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. I have lived here for the past 26 years, and I enjoy this coastal city so much that I plan on living out the rest of my life here. The city of Ventura has 110,000 people. The county's seat is located within the city of Ventura. The biggest employer in Ventura County is the naval base, Ventura County, with 19,000 employees. And the second largest employer in the county is Ventura County itself, with 8,000 employees. Since you will have to add either cities or unincorporated areas to each congressional district, because California lost one seat as a result of the 2020 census, I hope that you put the entire city of Ventura and its sphere of influence and our next door neighbor, the city of Oxnard, into the 26th congressional district, since that district represents most, but not all, of those areas right now. Both Oxnard and Ventura are coastal cities, so we are communities of interest, along with the other coastal cities located in the 26th congressional district, which is Port Hueneme and the naval base, Ventura County. The district also includes three state beaches and parks, specifically the San Buenaventura State Beach, the McGrath State Beach, and Point Mugu State Park. If you have to add more to the 26th congressional district besides the city of Ventura sphere of influence and the city of Oxnard, I would recommend that you consider either adding the city of Malibu, which is another coastal city located right next to the naval base, Ventura County, or include the entirety of the city of Simi Valley. Lastly, I want to encourage you to not gerrymander the districts to favor one political party over another. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to your commission. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you.
Right now we have caller 0406. And then up next we will have caller 9616. Caller 0406, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 0406, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions for you. Your speaker order number will be 19. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Yes, I'd like to discuss the city of Thousand Oaks in Ventura County.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, commissioners. My name is Adam Haverstock. I am the Director of Government Affairs and Tourism for the Greater Conejo Valley Chamber of Commerce in the city of Thousand Oaks. I am speaking on behalf of our over 800 business members in the Thousand Oaks area. Thousand Oaks is a unique community of interest that has its own identity, and that identity is similar to that of Ventura County and definitely different from that of Los Angeles. Many residents move to Thousand Oaks to escape the urban sprawl found in LA. Residents in Ventura County, including Thousand Oaks, have twice approved ballot questions to limit development in the county. We often hear from residents, don't turn Thousand Oaks into the San Fernando Valley when referring to urban sprawl or growth. Additionally, as many have said, our county has many joint powers or other shared services among the 10 cities. Law enforcement service, fire service, healthcare service, and our Office of Education, to name a few. Few, if any, Thousand Oaks residents would identify themselves as Angelinos. They are from Ventura County, plain and simple. Please keep the city and community of interest of Thousand Oaks whole and include Thousand Oaks in legislative districts with the other cities in Ventura County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right now we have caller 9616. I will invite those in the queue to press *9 to raise your hand indicating you wish to comment. We still will have a few minutes past this next caller. We will not have enough for all of those hands maybe, but we will see. So we will start with caller 9616, and then up next will be caller 8532. Caller 9616, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 9616, your speaker order number will be 20. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Yes, I'd like to discuss San Luis Obispo County area.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
And yes, there is a 35th District, California. There's a geographical boundary between the city of San Luis Obispo and the cities to the north along Freeway 101, such as Santa Margarita and such as Atascadero. This boundary is locally known as the Grade. During the last redistricting, there was a purely partisan gerrymandered boundary drawn in which the California State University campus of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo was included in the politically conservative supervisorial District 5 in such a manner to dilute the conservative vote north of the Grade. There's absolutely no connection, either politically or geographically, between the college campus of Cal Poly and the agricultural and cattle lands and the peoples to the north of the Grade. Absolutely no connection. It was a purely partisan political move which violates all the 5 following state guidelines for redistricting, such as, number 1, to the extent practical, districts must be geographically contiguous. 2, to the extent practical, districts must maintain the geographic integrity of neighborhoods and communities of interest. 3, to the extent practical, districts must minimize division of cities or census-designated places. 4, boundaries must be easily identifiable and, if possible, bound by natural or artificial barriers. 5, to the extent practical, districts must not favor or discriminate against any political party. This particular gerrymandered section is a small area between District 5 and Cal Poly campus, which is really part of, should be part of San Luis Obispo, the city. So I would say that this needs to be removed. This gerrymandered part of the district needs to be removed and put in. The Cal Poly campus should be put in the area of the city of San Luis Obispo, and then supervisorial district it should be removed from that. And so we could have a continuous boundary. And that's about it.
Thank you for your input. Just want to let you know that this commission is focused on statewide districts, and I would encourage you to also provide that input to the process for supervisory districts in San Luis Obispo County. But thank you for calling.
Thank you so much. Right now we have caller 8532, and up next will be caller 3580. Caller 8532, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 8532, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions for you. Your speaker order number will be 21, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Good evening. Buenas tardes, commissioners. I would like to speak regarding the city of Moorpark. My name is Brian Chong, and I serve as assistant to the city manager for the city of Moorpark. I'm here today to speak officially on behalf of Moorpark. On the one hand, our community of approximately 37,000 is easy to define because there are official legal city limit lines that describe our community down to the millimeter. The first point I want to share then is also easy. Do not split up Moorpark. Do not split up our community into two different congressional, senatorial, or assembly districts. On the other hand, our community can be more difficult to define on a map because of the system of green belts that separate Ventura County's 10 cities. As such, I'd like to share with the Commission how Moorpark best fits in legislatively with nearby communities. And that brings me to our second point. Moorpark belongs with Ventura County, not the San Fernando Valley, not Los Angeles, which is a 20-minute drive away, not Santa Clarita, which is a 45-minute drive away, or if you left right now in the evening rush hour, a lot longer than that. You've already heard from many previous speakers how Moorpark enjoys close relationships with our surrounding Ventura County cities, and I'd like to offer a few more governmental examples that have not yet been shared. Moorpark City Transit is operated by the City of Thousand Oaks. Our Moorpark City Transit buses are stored overnight and refueled at the City of Simi Valley Transit Maintenance Facility. Within the Southern California Association of Governments, our district includes Moorpark, Thousand Oaks, and Simi Valley. Within the League of California Cities, our regional division includes all of Ventura County's 10 cities and none in Los Angeles County. In fact, at both SCAG and the League, our region is represented by a Moorpark City Council member. These geographies are not by mistake. They are a reflection of the reality that the legislative interests of Moorpark are closely aligned with those of Thousand Oaks, Simi Valley, Camarillo, and the rest of Ventura County. And we respectfully request that the Commission's efforts recognize this. Finally, in repeating our 2 points, number one, do not split up Moorpark, and number two, Moorpark belongs with Ventura County, I want to share a fact that Californians in any community will uniquely appreciate, and that's if you visited Moorpark's In-N-Out and ask where people are from, they will tell you, I am from either Moorpark, Thousand Oaks, or Simi Valley. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Chair, would you like me, do we have time to do one more?
Yeah, if that's okay, we'll go ahead and have one more caller. Thank you.
Absolutely. Caller 3508, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 3508, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions for you. Your speaker order number will be number 22, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Very good. Mapper, you can leave it in the same area for Simi Valley Moorpark. Just calling in regarding that area. My name is Larry Peltier. I live off of Sycamore and Cochran, just south of the 118. And I just wanted to say that I agree with what the last several people have stated in Simi Valley, that I believe that Simi Valley and Moorpark should be remain together. They should not be cleaved off. They should not be part of Los Angeles. There is a great symmetry that there is with respect to both of those communities, as they've talked about. And then just from that whole area right there, my physician is in Agoura. My other physicians are in Thousand Oaks. And then as someone else was saying earlier on, when it came to coronavirus, there was a lot of confusion, and that I was able to go ahead and to get my shots in Ventura County, whereas with my job, I cover 5 different counties, but I was not able to partake in any of the others. But Ventura County was really the best area and was where I was able to receive my services. So again, I would like to state that Simi Valley and Moore Park have a great symmetry. They have a lot of shared different community elements, and I think that should remain the same. And I also agree that the representative that we have in Congressman 25, we're well represented in Simi Valley, and I'd like to maintain that. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much for joining us and for your input. At this point, we're up against a break. We will be breaking until 5:45. When we return from break, we will start with individuals who are registered for an appointment time slot and then open up the phone lines if there's time. Thank you.
Welcome back to the California Citizens Redistricting Commission's Communities of Interest Input Meeting, focusing this afternoon on Zone E, the Central Coast counties. We also encourage you to visit our Communities of Interest tool to draw a map and describe your community. That tool is accessible at drawmycacommunity.org. I'll pass this over to Katie again, our comment moderator, to continue with public input. We will start with those who registered and have appointments for this session, and then open the phone lines if there is time before the next session. Katie, take it away. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair. Welcome to the public input session. Please use the raise your hand button at the bottom of your screen to enter the comment queue. When it is your turn to speak, you will be identified by your assigned unique ID number, which you were emailed yesterday. You will be reconnected to the session with the ability to enable your own video and/or audio. You will then be assigned a speaker order number before you begin speaking. Please make a note of your speaker order number for future reference. The Commission will be enforcing a 3-minute time limit. There will be a warning at 30 seconds and 15 seconds remaining. It is the Commission's goal to find the area on the map you would like to discuss prior to your testimony. If you are within a specific neighborhood of a large city, please mention it by name. Once we are able to locate your area, your 3-minute testimony will begin. Attendees will not be able to share their screen. At the end of your public input or at the end of your time, you will be reconnected in a listen and view only mode. At the beginning of your input, please remind the mapper what area you would like to see on the screen. Right now will be 019, and up next will be 029. 019, I will be promoting you now. 019, your speaker order number is number 23, if you will please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Ventura County, please, the city of Santa Paula. Good afternoon, commissioners. My name is Laura Espinosa. I'm a former council member, and I am currently president of Santa Paula Latino Town Hall, who has been in existence 25 years in the Santa Clara Valley. We are located in the Santa Clara River Valley in Ventura County. Neighboring cities are Fillmore, Oxnard, Port Hueneme. Unincorporated neighbors are El Rio and Piru and Nyland Acres. We have over 200,000 Medi-Cal recipients, primarily living in the cities I just described of Oxnard, Santa Paula, Port Hueneme, Fillmore, Piru, El Rio, and Nyland Acres. Our residents are low income with low educational attainment rates. Employment is mostly agriculture and essential work with little opportunity for high-paying jobs in these communities. There are over 40,000 Latino or indigenous farm workers spread throughout the identified areas. The Native American community holds sweat lodges, religious practices in Santa Paula. The Catholic religion is also the primary religious affiliation among the largely Latino community, with several Catholic churches in the region, which are community hubs. Santa Paula, very important point, was subject to a U.S. Department of Justice Section 2 voting rights lawsuit that was settled in 2002. The city of Santa Paula admitted voting was racially polarized, where the Latino community was and has been unable to elect candidates of choice due to voter dilution. That is why we want to maintain the communities that I identified. Because we want to keep those compact because the power to elect our candidates of choice, for which the U.S. Constitution guarantees us a vote and the ability to do so, would be greatly diluted if we are separated, as we are now. I have voted in every election since I was 18 years old. I'm now 66 and have never seen a state or federal elected official that looks like me or is from my community. Other COI criteria that bind our group include respect for the environment.
30 seconds.
The Santa Clara River Valley is bordered by the Santa Clara River, the last remaining wild river in California, and Los Padres National Forest, and Los Angeles to the east, and the beach communities to the north.
15 seconds.
We have a track record of fighting 2 power plants in Oxnard and Santa Paula. It is vitally important that we stay together so that we have a voice in this valley. Thank you for your attention.
Time.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 029, and up next will be 032. 029, I will be promoting you now. 029, your speaker order number will be 24, if you will please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Good evening. Thank you very much for taking the time to hear my thoughts. My name is Marcy Kraft, and I am speaking about Ventura County, specifically Simi Valley. I have been a resident of Simi Valley since 1996. Through that time, I've been relatively active in my community. I remember clearly the first day coming over the 118 freeway, driving away from the San Fernando Valley and seeing this vast expanse of land as you come over the hill. And if you've never experienced that, I encourage you all to do it, because it is just, it's astounding how beautiful it is. And it was such a beautiful change from Los Angeles County, and I never looked back. And it really speaks to who we are here in Simi Valley. We are about saving our open spaces. We've had a thing called SOAR. We believe, in protecting our farmlands. We don't want to have the urban sprawl. We have much more in common with our neighbors, Moore Park, Thousand Oaks, Camarillo. Our court system is the Ventura County Superior Court. Our fire department is in Ventura County. Our taxes are collected by Ventura County. Everything that we do is with Ventura County. And yet, our congressional district is with Los Angeles County. It is such a clear example of gerrymandering because all of a sudden we're part of Porter Ranch. We're part of the San Fernando Valley. We're part of Santa Clarita Valley. People in Simi Valley don't go to Santa Clarita Valley unless they're going to Magic Mountain. That's probably pretty much the only time. If you were to say Santa Clarita Valley to many folks in Simi Valley, they would not know where it is. If you say Magic Mountain, they know that. But we have zero association with Santa Clarita Valley. So the fact that we're in a congressional district, that we share a congressperson with that large Los Angeles group is just, it was mind-boggling to me when I learned of it. So you have an opportunity now. The folks that you volunteered to be on this commission, and I know that your hearts are in the right places and you want to do what's right by the constituency of California. And this is an opportunity for you to correct this wrong. Put us back with Ventura County. Put us with the same health department that covers all the rest of the area, right? The mask mandate was a perfect example. Los Angeles County went to a mask mandate last week or a week and a half ago. We're still not in a mask mandate. We have a mask suggested that we wear masks. I wear masks, but we don't have a mandate yet. So we have two completely different healthcare systems. So please, correct this
15
wrong.
seconds.
Put Simi Valley back with Ventura County. Thank you very much for listening tonight.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 032, and then up next will be 028. 032, I will be promoting you now. 032, your speaker order number will be 25, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mappers know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I'd really love to zoom in on Monterey County as a whole with maybe showing a little bit closer to the Santa Cruz side on the north end. Good evening, everybody. My name is Chris Lopez. I am a Monterey County supervisor representing the 3rd District. So when you look at this map in front of you, Salinas is our main city. There near the word San Benito, just to the left of that, in the center would be the city of Salinas. And I represent everything from there all the way south. So my district is the size of the state of Rhode Island. I don't touch the coast, but you'll see that I touch Kings, Fresno, Kern, San Benito, San Luis Obispo counties. But my request this evening, my ask is that you strongly consider creating the stronger ties that have existed for a long time between Monterey, Santa Cruz, and San Benito counties. For me, I'm born and raised in this district in the deep part of South County. For me, the Watsonville is home. Watsonville is where my parents were, where they migrated south. My uncle wound up in Gilroy, and I've got family in the Hollister area. For us, those 3 regions are intertied. And the reason I say that is there's a very strong mountain range, the Gavilands, that run between Monterey County and San Benito County that really sets us apart from the rest of California, focusing all of our commute, our purchase trips, our communities of interest, specifically amongst the Latino community, northward into the strawberries of Santa Cruz that provide the economy that fuels our region, which is agriculture. Obviously, my district is the Salinas Valley, so we do primarily lettuce, but the further north you go, you're looking at strawberries. It's agriculture which makes this area thrive, and the connections, we call ourselves the Tri-County region, San Benito, Monterey, Santa Cruz. We're extremely close-knit. And so as I look at this process and understand that you have tough decisions to make, 1, I thank you for your service, for stepping up to serve in this capacity. But 2, really just want to ask that you continue to focus on the districts sort of as they've been carved. I really believe that especially the Senate districts that represent the Salinas Valley should include parts of Watsonville, parts of those communities that are primarily Latino and agriculture in their nature and in their base. Here, as a member of Southern Monterey County and as a person who came up knowing the background of the politics, I worked for Simon Salinas, who was one of the first to challenge the city of Salinas versus Salinas, to require districted votes, making sure that Latinos were represented in the communities in which they were a majority of the population. So for us, the politics are deep, they're real, and we're asking you to make that consideration real. For my district, knowing that we need to continue to have that connection to our neighbors that we already have those deep connections with, I just ask that you consider that northward spread into the regions of Watsonville, Morgan Hill, San Benito, Gilroy, where our
15
communities are
seconds.
already intertied. Again, thank you for your service, and I appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 028, and up next will be 040. 028, I will be promoting you now. Zero 028. Your speaker order number is number 26, if you will please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Hi there. I'll be discussing Ventura County, Santa Paula. So, hello everyone. My name is Nidia, and I'm a resident of Ventura County. The Santa Clara Valley, including communities like Santa Paula, Fillmore, and Piru, are an important community of interest in the Central Coast. The Santa Clara Valley should be kept together and ideally united in the same districts as the nearby Oxnard Plain, including the communities of Oxnard, Port Hueneme, and El Rio. We are a community of interest because we are a majority working class farm worker community. Many of our community members are facing disparities in education, housing, and healthcare, not to mention come from an economically disadvantaged background. The Santa Clara Valley is majority Latinx, with some families living for generations. It's also composed of immigrant families, children of immigrants, and families with citizen and undocumented individuals. Our community speaks Spanish and indigenous languages like Mixteco, Zapoteco, and Purepecha, to mention a few. And the Santa Clara Valley has also been disproportionately impacted by pollution, pesticides, and groundwater depletion. Our community is different from surrounding communities like Thousand Oaks, Moore Park, Camarillo, Ohio, or Malibu. Residents from these cities are socioeconomically advantaged, have access to quality education and services, and are not impacted by heavy industries like agriculture or oil and gas. So, for this reason, I ask that you keep the Santa Clara Valley together in the same district as the Oxnard Plain. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Oh, wrong pipe. Huh. Sorry. Right now we have 040, and up next is 041. 040, I will be promoting you now. Your speaker order number will be number 27, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. If you'll please remind the mapper of what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours. You are
Hello?
unmuted. Hello, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Pam Kempo, and I've been a resident of Simi Valley for 49 years. And thank you for hearing my comments. I ask that the cities of Simi Valley and Moore Park, so I'm speaking of at this point, are combined within the same district in Ventura County for the purpose of shared community interests. Many of us have always referred to our cities of Simi Valley and Moore Park as our sister cities. This is because we share a lot of the same programs, information, and deal with many of the same issues within the county of Ventura. It just makes sense to bring the two cities together within the same district as we are now, and as we are not now, and not separated by two different counties with different representatives, as what's happening now. So residents from both ask, why are we separated within, in and outside of Ventura County if we reside in the same county? So I can't see a single reason or share a reasonable answer to that question. I hope that your decision will not be strictly based on politics, but on reality and common sense, and how the same representation can serve the shared interest of Simi Valley and Moore Park residents within Ventura County. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 041, and up next will be 030. 041, I will be promoting you now. Zero 41, your speaker order number will be 28, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I would like to discuss the Santa Maria Valley area of Santa Barbara, specifically the cities of Santa Maria, Guadalupe, and Lompoc. My name is Lada Murti, and I'm a resident of the unincorporated Orchid Township of the Santa Maria Valley. I am also a college professor of sociology and a member of several local organizations, including the Santa Maria Lompoc branch of the NAACP, or the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and the Santa Maria branch of the American Association of University Women, or AAUW. In all of these roles and experiences, I have learned that as a Latino majority county, Santa Barbara County needs a Latino majority district. Together, the cities of Santa Maria, Guadalupe, and Lompoc in the Santa Maria Valley could be that Latino majority district. These three cities form an important community of interest in Santa Barbara County. Santa Maria, Guadalupe, and Lompoc are a community of interest because the majority of the population are immigrant families with a much larger share of Latinx residents, immigrants, and Spanish and indigenous language speakers than the surrounding region. My community experiences and work have taught me that the communities of Santa Maria, Guadalupe, and Lompoc are much stronger together than apart. As a community of interest, all three cities can make greater contributions not only to their own improvement and growth, but also to the improvement and growth of Santa Barbara County and the state of California at large. Together, the cities of Santa Maria, Guadalupe, and Lompoc can thrive. Thank you very much for considering my comment this evening.
Thank you so much. Right now we will have 030, and up next will be 031. 030, I will be promoting you now. Your speaker order number is number 29, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours. Zero 030.
Hello?
There you are.
Hey.
You're going to want to mute your other device.
Okay, let's see. Which one is... Okay. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, one moment. I'm going to turn off one.
There you go.
Okay. Oops, I'm sorry.
030, are you logged into the meeting twice? If so, could you please log the other computer out of the meeting or device? Stand by.
Hold on one moment. Let me promote the other one. See if that. 030. We have promoted your other link. You should now be able to enable your audio and video on the other device. You there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Perfect. The floor is yours.
Okay. My name is Jaime Rosso, and I'm a business person of 43 years furniture business here in Gilroy, Morgan Hill, in Gilroy in particular. And I'm speaking to address the area of Gilroy, Morgan Hill, San Benito County, the ties between this community, and as well as into Watsonville. And I would like to say also that I have served on the school board for 16 years here in Gilroy Unified School District. And I have been involved in the community over the many years that I have been here. Our business employs 36 people who live and work in all these areas that I'm describing. And we have a common interest. I'm speaking in favor of, maintaining the district representation as we have in our communities here, that not to break them up. Although I will say Gilroy is actually, in particular, is broken up in 2 different congressional districts. And it would be ideal if it were represented in one, although we have ties to both north and south, to the San Jose to the north and ties to Salinas to the south. And surrounding communities joining to Santa Cruz. And so I would like to say that that the communities here, we would like to help maintain what we have in this community. The representation that we're able to have at the state level has been well represents us. And we have, we are represented. We have heavily Hispanic community here as well, and Spanish speaking in many businesses down here. And so again, I would like to say that I do support maintaining
30 seconds.
That as we have down here in terms of our assembly, senatorial district. And I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to present.
030, real briefly, your speaker order number was number 29. If you will please make note of that, just in case that was missed in the shuffle at the beginning. Right now we have 031, and up next will be 034. 031, I will be promoting you now. (031), your speaker order number will be number 30, if you will please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Yes, good afternoon. Cesar Lara with the Monterey Bay Central Labor Council, and the map is perfectly positioned here in the Monterey, Santa Cruz, and San Benito County. So good afternoon. My name is Cesar Lara. I was born and raised by farm workers here in the northern part of the Central Coast. I now serve as the executive director of the Monterey Bay Central Labor Council. We represent 80 unions and 37,000 union members and their families across Monterey and Santa Cruz County. And the community of interest I would like to share is the Latino community of Salinas, where I live, and our neighboring cities. Many of our residents are farm workers who drive the agricultural community of the Salinas and Pájaro valleys. Our communities access healthcare through Clínica de Salud and Natividad Hospital, and also Salud para la Gente. As you look to draw new maps, I thank you for taking the time to learn about the current maps, the current district lines, and hear the input from the community on whether these lines serve our needs. On the assembly map, you can scroll into Salinas. You will see that we are represented in districts with our sister cities, all of whom are across county lines. We share districts with Gilroy to the northeast in Santa Clara County, Hollister to the east in San Benito County, and Watsonville to the north in Santa Cruz County. We are deeply connected to these sister cities economically and socially. Each city population is a majority Latino, and its workforce is connected to the agricultural industry. We're even connected religiously, as our Catholic diocese stretches the three counties of Monterey, Santa Cruz, and San Benito, what we call the Tri-County area. Hopefully, you could unite these cities in all three plans going forward. As the census data will show, the Latino population continues to grow in our communities. In Salinas alone, Latinos account for 80% of the population, ensuring the Latino community and the farm worker workforce are represented as a collective community of interest, overweighing the needs to situate a district within county lines. So I thank the district for this event and this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 034, and up next will be 020. 034, I will be promoting you now. Zero 034, your speaker order number is 31. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today. The floor is yours.
Yes, I'll be talking in regards to Assembly District 30 and Senate District 12. My name is Aurelio Salazar Jr. I currently serve on the Hartnell College Board of Trustees for over the last 5 years. Also, former Monterey County Planning Commissioner for the County of Monterey, serving there a total of 11 years. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from San Jose State University. As part of my master's thesis, it was specifically on gerrymandering, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and redistricting in Monterey County between 1960 and 1990. I've been involved in the redistricting process here locally in 2000, and in 2010, I served on the redistricting committee for the Hartnell College Community District and the Salinas Union High School District. So I want to thank you for your work. In terms of Assembly District 30 and Senate District 12, just wanted to speak in favor of keeping those two as they are, or with minimal changes. I typically like to talk about our respective counties as having its own unique geopolitics. And what I mean by geographic politics as it relates to our local housing, transportation, environmental, and labor issues. One that specifically comes to mind was Assembly Bill 1783, our Farm Worker Housing Act, which allowed the streamlined process to build quality farm worker housing. And so again, just want to thank you for all the work that you're doing. It's very important to the Latino community in terms of having the ability to elect representatives that have similar experiences around common issues and being able to represent us and create policy change that will ultimately impact and improve the quality of lives for the residents in our assembly and respective Senate district seat. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now we will have 020, and up next we will have 033. 020, 020, I will be promoting you now. It appears we may have some connectivity issues. I will try again. Oh, it took it that time. 020, your speaker order number will be number 32, if you will please make note of that for future reference. And if you please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Yes, Ventura County, the city of Oxnard. Hello, my name is Cynthia Salas. I'm a member of Santa Paula Latino Town Hall. I live in Oxnard, California. I would like for the commissioners to consider creating a new district as it includes the following cities: Fillmore, Santa Paula, Fort Hueneme, Piru, El Rio, and Linden Acres, and Oxnard. Even though I'm not here in my professional capacity, I serve as the Equity Service Manager for the Office of Health Equity and Cultural Diversity. Understanding the needs of the entire county is one of my core responsibilities. Ventura County is 42.7% Latino, of which 30% speak Spanish at the home, in addition to other indigenous languages, including Purechepa, Zapoteco, and Mixteco, just to name a few. There are 40,000 Latinx and indigenous farm workers spread throughout the identified areas. Most are undocumented immigrants from Latin America, the majority being from Mexico alone. Ventura County, the expense to live in this county is extremely expensive. Anyone wanting to live here has to make an average of $37 per hour. Our farm workers make an average of $14 per hour, which results in high poverty rates and results in challenges and hardships in securing food, housing, and access to health care. Therefore, securing these areas as a new district would allow representation and a voice at the table when it comes to bringing resources, changes in policies, and implementations of laws that protect the welfare of our Latinx indigenous communities for the areas identified. We want to make sure that they have and secure representatives that will improve their community. We have a track record of fighting as a collective community as a result of the placement of 2 power plants in Oxnard and Santa Paula. Latino organizations such as Santa Paula Latino Town Hall and CAUSE have worked together to protect our environment from big oil interests in support of immigration rights, as well as our sacred Native American communities and their land that is considered sacred. Our communities, as a result of these oil industries, also have the highest rate of asthma, childhood obesity rates, and more families living in tight quarters, which again results in disparities that were amplified during the pandemic. I also want to share that the importance of having these communities together will secure federally elected officials be present, given that in Santa Paula in 2018, the only local hospital in Santa Clara Valley was proposed to close, and it was the community, along with Clínicas de Camino Real and federally qualified health centers, that secured that this did not happen.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 033. And I invite 022 to use the raise your hand option at the bottom of your screen to enter the comment queue. I see your hand there. So right now will be 033, and up next will be 022. And then I invite the callers that have called in to please press star 9 to raise your hand, indicating you wish to comment. 033, I will be promoting you now. Zero 033, your speaker order number will be number 33. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
My point of interest is Monterey County and San Benito County. Okay, my name is Chris Barrera, president of LULAC Salinas Council 2055. When people ask what redistricting is and why it's important, the answer is simple. It's about power. During the census, LULAC preached that your participation was your voice, similar to how people often say your vote is your voice. For this reason, I would argue that redistricting is just as important as voting. Basically, citizens are given the power to create boundaries which shape voting blocks. So if someone wants to strengthen a certain party while weakening another, they can draw voting lines that favor one party over another. So this affects your day-to-day life by potentially skewing the voting block in which you live one way or the other. The goal is to ensure that these lines are drawn equitably, ensuring equal representation and not silencing the voices of certain voters simply because they have the misfortune of living in a district that was shaped to protect a certain party. Recently, Monterey County has been actively recruiting people of all walks of life to participate in the redistricting committee, so those voices I mentioned get a fair say in each election until the next census count, which happens every 10 years. So in short, redistricting determines just how meaningful your voice will be, and it is locked in for 10 years. If we do not find enough people that represent various different communities, sadly, only one group will have the power I mentioned, and we all lose. Evidenced by recent voter turnout and the resulting more representative government we've seen at the state and local level, we must not lose the gains our community has made. For these reasons, I urge you to keep the historic Latino community in the Central Coast whole, with the 4 core cities of Hollister, Salinas, Watsonville, and Gilroy intact. This is a crucial district and has been historically represented by Latinos who are really shaping policy that benefits all. Whether in the Central Coast or Central Valley, rural agricultural communities have faced historic barrier to participation. We need and deserve to be recognized and heard. I urge you to please maintain the Latino community of interest and our ability to elect our preferred candidates. I respectfully ask that you maintain the lines of Assembly District 30 and
seconds.
unite Gilroy, Watsonville, Salinas, and Hollister in the same congressional and Senate districts. Thank you for your time and service.
Thank you so much. Right now we have 022. Then I invite those who have called in to press star 9 to raise your hand indicating you wish to comment. So right now we have 022, and then up next will be caller 1642. 022, I will be promoting you now. 022, your speaker order number will be 34. If you will please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello. Can you please show the border between Santa Cruz and Santa Clara counties? Thank you. Like many of my colleagues in Silicon Valley, we live in neighboring Santa Cruz County because of the lack of housing that's available in Silicon Valley. Of the directions that we could have moved to, we chose to go southwest to Santa Cruz for the beautiful mountains and the beaches, and to give some room for my 3 boys to grow. Which this means, though, that I commute every day from Santa Cruz up to 17 through up into Silicon Valley. This allows me to have housing, which is a big problem for the younger generation up in this area where housing is so expensive. And I think that this connection is a vital thing that I'd like the commissioners to consider. I recently noticed that in the last year, the value of my house up in the Santa Cruz Mountains in Felton, California has raised 35%, which I think is representative of the recent acceptance of hybrid work, which is going to become more and more prevalent over the years, and from Silicon Valley commuters becoming more comfortable living further away. And I can attest to the neighbors and folks that live around me and are moving into the area are representative of this. And also of UC Santa Cruz, which has developed an extension center in Santa Clara. They call the UC Santa Cruz Silicon Valley campus. And our region from Santa Cruz to Silicon Valley is really a hub of technology, science, and research. And this connection is only going to get stronger as hybrid work becomes more normal in the post-COVID era. And I hope that you draw our districts to reflect this strong connection. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now we have caller 1642, and up next will be caller 0023. Caller 1642, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 1642, also speaker order number 009. Again, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute by pressing *6. Oh, unique ID number 009, your speaker. Caller 16, last 4 with the 1642. If you'll please press *6 on your telephone keypad. Caller 1642, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions for you. Your speaker order number will be 35. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today, the floor is yours.
Okay, pull up the city of Ojai and Ojai Valley, and the cities of Santa Paula and Fillmore in the Santa Clara River Valley.
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
My name is Dennis. Okay, my name is Dennis. I'm a resident of Santa Paula. I'm calling to keep the Ojai and Santa Clara River Valleys together as they were in 2011. My city is currently partially nested within the Ojai Valley and CD 26, AD 37, SD 19. Together, we make up the rural communities of Ventura County. Both the Ojai and Santa Clara River Valleys have long histories of being agricultural hubs, particularly for citrus. The Santa Clara River Valley used to be a major region for growing and cultivation of walnuts. 50% of all of Ventura County's agricultural acreage is now irrigated with water from the Santa Clara River. Communities around the valley still produce lemons and limes. The Ojai Valley has a number of family farms, many of which date back a century, and boast its own varietal of the Pixie Tangerine. In short, please keep Ojai and Santa Clara River Valleys whole and together. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Right now we have caller 0023. If you'll please follow the prompts to unmute by pressing *6. Caller 0023, your speaker order number will be number 36. If you will please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today. With that, the floor is yours. Hello, can you hear me? Caller with the last 40023, can you hear me? You are unmuted. Hello, caller 0023. You are unmuted. Can you hear us? Caller 0023. Can you hear me? Hello? How about I try removing the permission to talk and let's see if we can start over. 0023. If you please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 0023, you are unmuted. Can you hear me? Caller 0023, you are unmuted. Can you hear me? Caller 0023, I'm going to suggest that you dial back in at this time. It appears to be having some connectivity issues, maybe reception related. Hello? Can you hear me? Nope. Okay. I will recommend that you call back in. At this time, I will be going to caller 3941. Caller 3941, if you'll please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 3941, you are unmuted. Your speaker order number will be number 37, if you will please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss today. With that, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Today, I'd like to talk about the San Luis Obispo County and Northern Santa Barbara County region. My name is Molly Kern. I'm representing the San Luis Obispo Chamber of Commerce, and I'm calling today to thank you all for your service on this redistricting committee, and also to advocate that you consider San Luis Obispo County and Northern Santa Barbara County as one community in your deliberations. The communities are intertwined geographically. We share so many industries, including agriculture, tourism, and aerospace engineering, leading our economies. And most importantly, citizens in each area, sort of all of San Luis Obispo County, and then specifically Santa Maria, Orcutt, Guadalupe, and Longpoke in Northern Santa Barbara County, live their lives across county lines, whether it's for medical care, jobs, childcare, education. The communities are intertwined with people regularly crossing the county boundaries. Economically, we also work together with other local chambers of commerce through the Santa Maria area and the San Luis Obispo County area to advance our shared prosperity. And we request that you consider keeping these communities together as one region in your deliberations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Right now we have caller 9480, and up next will be caller 7651. Caller 9480, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 9480, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions for you. Your speaker order number will be 38, if you will please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Okay. My name is Sandra, and I'm calling from Arroyo Grande, and I would like to discuss the boundary areas for redistricting of San Luis Obispo County and Monterey. I encourage everyone to really keep San Luis whole. Do not join us with Monterey County. The needs of Monterey County and us are very different, and we don't know anything about not that we don't know anything, we do know some things, but the needs are very different, and we do not want to lose our representation in Sacramento for Senate and legislature. As it is, we have very minimal representation already. Please don't put us at a further disadvantage. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Right now we have caller 7651. I do invite those in the queue that have called in to please press star 9 on their telephone keypad indicating they wish to comment. But right now we do have a raised hand with caller 7651. If you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 7651, you are unmuted. Your speaker order number will be 39, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. My name is Gabriela Torres, and I'm from the city of Oxnard, which is located in Ventura County. And I wanted to come and just share about my city. Oxnard is a vibrant community consisting of agricultural workers who immigrated to our city since the early 1900s. Our community is located within Ventura County and is deeply rooted in traditional immigrant roots of Mexico, with generational families residing in the boundaries of our city. We have seen the children of immigrant workers born and raised in Oxnard attend college and come back to Oxnard to serve their communities through their professions. We have a city that is the home of the strawberries. You will drive through the city of Oxnard and appreciate its agricultural fields and downtown festivals and parades. The majority of Oxnard residents attend one of the local churches, which has served as a spiritual home for many generations and brought the community together. We are a community that is committed to service and helping one another. During this time of the pandemic, Oxnard was the epicenter of all the impacts related to the pandemic within Ventura County. Nonetheless, the community has stood together in helping one another through all circumstances. The Oxnard community is committed to justice and serving one another. We become beacons of hope and uplift all people throughout all the segments of Oxnard. We have a beautiful beach that many of our residents and children visit and enjoy a beautiful time with one another. You will often see children and youth throughout our parks practicing soccer. Families live throughout the city of Oxnard and are proud to be able to remain in a city in which their parents or grandparents arrived and settled in when they immigrated to the United States. There are strong family ties in the city of Oxnard. However, Oxnard families become divided when they are asked to vote for a state assembly member into office. Oxnard has never had a Latino or Latina assembly member who resides in Oxnard due to our city being divided between Assembly Districts 37 and 44. The district boundaries divide our residents and families in important elections, such as an assembly member who will represent the interests of their community. During these times of a commitment to social justice and equity, I am respectfully asking the Commission to keep our entire Oxnard community together and no longer separate our homes and families in Oxnard in the state legislature. How could it be that entire families have different assembly members represent their needs based on a zip code of Oxnard in which they reside? As you will be considering boundary lines, I pray that you will have the discernment to draw lines that bring forth justice and keep Oxnard families together in one district. Thank you so much for choosing this very important work for our state. It's very much appreciated, and thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my comment.
Thank you so much. At this time, I invite caller 0023 to press star 9 on their telephone keypad. And 0023, If you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful.
So you can hear me now?
We can. Your speaker order number was 37, and I think we are sticking with that. I didn't get reassigned. Yes, so 37 is your speaker order number. If you'll please make note of that or 36, I apologize, 36. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss. With that, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. And thank you to all of you who are taking the time to do this and listening to us, because you have a very important job representing us. And I really appreciate the chance to talk to you. My name is Linda Gould, and I live in the east side of Simi Valley. And we have a lot of first responders here, and in Santa Clarita and in Moore Park. There's a lot of synergy in the three areas, and I'd like to see us all be represented in District 25, because our current congressman is somebody who's very aware of the needs of the first responders, who actually help all of the communities around us throughout LA. A lot of them work in Los Angeles and in Ventura County. And we need to have somebody who can bring the right money and the resources and keep our communities, with what we need to support these people. And also, we're all 3-bedroom communities, a lot of families, and we share a lot of the same interest and synergy. And Moore Park was kind of birthed out of Simi Valley. And Moore Park College, a lot of our children go there, and my grandkids went there, and it just makes sense for Moore Park to be a part of Simi and Simi to be whole, and to continue with Santa Clarita, because we have a lot of synergy with that community. And that's all I want to say, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And at this time, Chair, we do not have any other callers in the queue.
Very good. Thank you, Katie, for a great job. I understand that staff have sent messages out to individuals who had signed up for slots during this session who have not yet joined us. Hopefully they will be able to join us. Just a reminder to folks also that you can visit our website at wedrawthelinesca.org. You can also sign up there for our emails to learn more about our meetings, updates, and announcements. Please connect with us also on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube at We Draw the Lines CA. Katie, could you read the long instructions at this point?
Yes, Chair. In order to maximize transparency and public participation in our process, the Commissioners will be taking community of interest input by phone. To call in, dial the telephone number provided on the live stream feed. It is 877-853-5247. When prompted to enter the meeting ID number provided on the live stream feed, it is 897-3118-8844 for this meeting. When prompted to enter a participant ID, simply press the pound key. Once you have dialed in, you will be placed in a queue. To indicate you wish to comment, please press star 9. This will raise your hand for the moderator. When it is your turn to speak, you will hear a message that says the host would like you to talk, and to press star 6 to speak. If you would like to give your name, please state and spell it for the record. You are not required to provide your name to give public comment. Please make sure to mute your computer or live stream audio to prevent any feedback or distortion during your call. Once you are waiting in the queue, be alert for when it is your turn to speak, and again, please turn down the live stream volume. And we do not have any callers in the queue at this time, Chair.
Thank you, Katie. Just a reminder to folks out there, you are not required to make an appointment to provide input at these communities of interest input meetings. We recommend it so that you will have an idea of when you might be able to participate, but we do not require appointments for folks to provide input. You can also call in the day of the meeting. There are also a number of other ways to provide public input to the commission, and we will be giving equal weight to input coming to us through any and all of these channels. These meetings will be taking place throughout the summer. You can visit wedrawthelinesca.org, click on the meetings tab to get an idea of when we will be having further communities of interest input meetings. We also have our online mapping tool at drawmycacommunity.org. That online tool will ask you to give your community a name, tell us about it, what makes it a community, what areas, nearby areas your community would like to be grouped with or would not like to be grouped with, and anything else you'd like to tell us about your community. That online tool is available in English, Spanish, Simplified Chinese, Traditional Chinese, Vietnamese, Tagalog, Korean, Armenian, Farsi, Arabic, Russian, Japanese, Punjabi, Khmer, Hmong, and Thai, with tutorials available in all of those languages. There are also instructions on our website for getting community of interest input to us. Again, our website is www.wedrawthelinesca.org. You can click on the Draw My CA Community icon there on the home page of our website. We're also happy to receive input by email to votersfirst@crc.ca.gov or by traditional postal mail to our headquarters, California Citizens Redistricting Commission, 721 Capitol Mall, Suite 260, Sacramento, California, 95814. Could we go to a 5-minute video and then we will be back and hopefully have some more callers joining us at that point. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for running that video for us. I wanted to just take a moment to look ahead at our schedule over the coming days. Our busy schedule continues with a Communities of Interest public meeting on Saturday, the 24th, focusing on Orange County and the surrounding areas. Registration has closed for that, but again, individuals are welcome to call in on the day of the event to join the queue. We will have another Communities of Interest public input meeting next Thursday, July the 29th, beginning at 4 p.m. That one will focus on Alameda, Contra Costa, Marin, San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, and Solano counties and the surrounding areas. Registration for speaking slots for that event closes on Tuesday at 5 p.m. We will also be having a public input design committee meeting on Monday, July the 26th at 5 p.m., as well as a business meeting on Wednesday, July 28th, beginning at 9:30 a.m. And going for the day. Katie, I see we have no callers at this point. would you please read the short instructions?
Yes, Chair. The Commission is now taking community of interest input by phone. To give comment, please call 877-853-5247 and enter the meeting ID number 897-3118-8844 for this meeting. Once you have dialed in, please press star 9 to enter the comment queue. The full call-in instructions have been read previously in this session and are provided in full on the live stream landing page. And we do not have any callers at this time, Chair.
Thank you, Katie. Another reminder for Californians, requests for interpretation must be submitted at least 5 business days prior to our meetings. You can submit your request via email. The email address for that is interpreter.request@crc.ca.gov. You can also make a request for interpretation when you sign up for an appointment during one of the sessions, or you can call our office at 916-323-0323. With that, it's 7 o'clock. We still have no callers. I will take the opportunity to invite commissioners to share memories of times spent on the Central Coast. So let me give myself a little more screen real estate and see who might be raising a hand. Commissioner Fornashari.
Sure, I'll go first. Let's see, my wife grew up in Santa Cruz County, in a little town called Scotts Valley, right off Highway 17, the road that we heard from the gentleman earlier who lived in Felton, who commutes into Santa Clara County. As I was growing, when I was growing up, the beaches of Santa Cruz were a very, very popular place. And as we would drive to Santa Cruz, we'd go through Scotts Valley. They had a little amusement park called Santa's Village, and then they had another little attraction called Lost World that had these giant dinosaur statues on the side of the road. And we'd drive by. We never went, but it was just really, memorable to see that. But then I started dating my wife, and she still lived with her parents there. So I made a number of trips over to Scotts Valley to spend time with her, and we'd be down in Santa Cruz. And of course, we still go to visit her friends that are still in the area, and just really enjoy the boardwalk and the wharf down there in Santa Cruz.
Thanks for that. Anyone else?
Chair, we actually have a caller.
Okay, let's go to our caller.
All right. Caller 4660. If you will please follow the prompts to unmute by pressing star 6. Caller 4660. Hello. I have a couple of brief instructions for you. Your speaker order number will be number 40. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'd like to discuss Monterey County and the Central Coast. This is John Phillips. I'm County Supervisor in Monterey County.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, please.
Well, as I mentioned, I'm John Phillips. I've been a supervisor here for 7 years, but I've lived here in Monterey County for 50 years. I was a longtime district attorney and then a judge for 21 years and then ran a nonprofit. But I've lived here and I'm just calling to ensure that the eastern portion of Monterey County and our rural community have a voice in important redistricting. About everything we do here, and our representatives representing us connect with the counties north and south of us. San Benito County, that used to be part of Monterey County until the turn of the century. Santa Clara County, Santa Cruz County, and down south, in San Luis Obispo County. But we work together on these, and our representatives, and usually our interests are similar, whether it's agriculture interest, highway interest. We're all represented, like I used to be on the 6th District Court of Appeals on that. So it's important that we have that representation. Appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And up next, we have caller 3781. You'll please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 3781, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions for you. Your speaker order number will be 41. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Sure. Thank you. I'm calling in discussion of the Santa Clarita region as well as the 25th Congressional District. And I am calling. So first, thank you all so much for taking my comment as well. And I appreciate you all being here today. I was just calling today to voice my support of doing a slight modification to our region. We currently encompass the Antelope Valley, Santa Clarita, bits of the San Fernando Valley, as well as Simi Valley, which is part of Ventura County. And I was calling in favor of, separating our counties for communities of interest as well. When holding Simi Valley with our Los Angeles County, they are in turn separate from Ventura County. And so these two communities are extremely different. We see that when we come to our business decisions between our chambers of commerce, when we look at business and economic growth. And one of my personal beliefs is when you look at the region of Santa Clarita and Antelope Valley, Agua Dulce and Acton, there's a lot more interest and there are a lot more commonalities when it comes to how our businesses functions, the type of ideology that we are seeing. And there's just a big separation there between our two counties. And I think it's also critical that we ensure that these counties are kept together in when it comes to just separation, just for the interest of both of the counties and the residents who live within them. So I thank you so much for taking that in consideration. And thank you again.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, that was all our callers at this time, Chair.
Very good. Does anyone else want to follow Commissioner Fornaciari with a memory of the Central Coast? Commissioner Sinai.
That whole area is just has way too many memories. I mean, they just keep popping up. But when I went to college at UCLA, my college boyfriend was at Cal Poly. And so I remember many drives, at the time it seemed like just a short drive to see each other, but it wasn't. And doing it sometimes at night was not the smartest thing I've ever done. But I am amazed doing that drive is parts of it are still look very similar, that it hasn't been as developed as, other times you drive to other places and you're like, wow, this has really changed. I have obviously done the drive up all the way to the Bay Area. Most recently, it was my nephew who had just turned 20 from Argentina came to visit. And I decided that he needed to understand the United States more than what he got on television. So I took him and my son on a road trip that went from San Diego, I think we went San Diego, Palm Springs, over to Grand Canyon, Las Vegas, then back into Los Angeles, up through the valley, the Central Valley to San Francisco, did the San Francisco thing for a weekend. And then came back down through, went to 17 and did the coast all the way down to back down to San Diego, stopping at every state park. We got state park passes and just stopped at every state park, as well as visiting family down along the way. We did go to Universal Studios and we did go to the Long Beach Aquarium. We did not go to Disneyland. I was a little tired having traveled with two young boys. Well, okay, one was a man, one was a boy. But it was just so fun to share our state with someone from another country who had one image of it. And, and this was October right before COVID. And so throughout COVID, my nephew would send me notes and my son would be like, hey, that was a great trip. So it's still very vivid in our memories.
Excellent. Katie, just checking. We do not have any other callers at this point.
That's correct, Sharon.
Okay. So we are close to the starting point of our break. We will go ahead and break now, return at 7:30. We invite callers to join us at 7:30 for both public input on communities of interest, as well as general public comment. Commissioner Fornaciari will be back in the chair for that session. But if we do not have callers at that point, we can anticipate that this meeting would adjourn early. So break until 7:30, and hopefully we will have callers for public input, communities of interest, or for general public comment. Thank you all.
Welcome back, California, to the Citizens Redistricting Commission Community of Interest Input Meeting. This session is specifically dedicated to those who did not have an appointment. However, if you had an appointment and were unable to call in during your time block, we encourage you to call in now. We will continue to take public input at this time and also invite public comment. The phone line for public input and public comment will close by 8 p.m. or at 8 p.m. at the latest. Unless we do not have many callers, then we may adjourn early. I see we have callers in the queue. I will pass it over to Katie. If you could read the short instructions probably, and then invite the callers in. Thank you.
Yes, Chair. The Commission is now taking community of interest input and general public comment for items not on the agenda at this time. To give comment, please call 877-853-5247 and enter the meeting ID number 897-3118-8844 for this meeting. Once you have dialed in, please press star 9 to enter the comment queue. The full call-in instructions are read at the beginning of the meeting and are provided in full on the live stream landing page. Right now, we have caller 1713 with their hand raised. I do invite those in the queue to please press star 9 to raise your hand indicating you wish to comment. But at this time, caller 1713, and then up next will be caller 4662. Caller 1713, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 1713, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions for you. Your speaker order number will be number 42, if you will please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know of what area you would like to discuss. With that, the floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Stacy Vandersheff, and I am interested in speaking as a concerned Ventura County citizen.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello? Oh, okay. My community of interest is the Moorpark and Simi Valley cities. And for drawing districts, it is in our interest to not only keep the cities in the same district, as far as keeping all Simi Valley residents and all Moorpark residents all in the same district, but also because our demographics are very similar and we experience a lot of the same concerns and issues. For example, our housing needs and also our wildfire zones.
we would like to keep the cities of Simi Valley and Moore Park in the same districts with each other. And those are pretty much the comments that I have in terms of drawing district lines.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I do have caller 4662 with their hand raised. I do invite the other callers in the queue to please press *9 to raise your hand indicating you wish to comment. And for unique ID number 026, if you are ready to give comment at this time, if you will please use the raise your hand button at the bottom of your screen indicating that you wish to give comment. As of right now, we do have a hand raised with caller 4662 and 026. I see your hand. You will be up next after callers 4662. Caller 4662, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 4662. Your speaker order number is number 43, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss. With that, the floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Kirill Urshov. It's spelled Kyrill, and the last name is Ershov. I live in Moore Park, and I agree with the previous commenter. I think that Moore Park and Simi Valley it would make 100% sense that they're considered, if they're represented, they are represented together, the cities in the whole. And the cities are, each city is represented by one as a whole, and also the two cities should be in one district, or even Thousand Oaks, Moore Park, and Simi Valley should be represented in one district. If it is possible for representatives to represent more than one city, it would be strange to have Moore Park, Simi Valley, and Thousand Oaks to be represented by different representatives. And what I mean is, we're just close. It's kind of, I see the Moore Park, Simi Valley, and Thousand Oaks as kind of the same entity. I grew up in Thousand Oaks, and now I live in Moore Park. My brother lives in Simi Valley. Almost every day, I drive to 12 minutes to Thousand Oaks, Cal Lutheran University, to do my swimming. And for work, almost every day, I drive to Simi Valley to drop stuff off for DHL. Most of the people, not most, but I would guess a lot of the people that work in the same industrial district in Moore Park are either from Moore Park or Simi Valley. If you, let's say you go to Simi Valley to watch a movie, it's, let's say it's the teenagers that work there, if they don't live at Simi Valley, it is very, very likely that they live in Moore Park. And same thing for Thousand Oaks. So that's pretty much it. I always see the same three cities as kind of, not the same, but our three cities. I see them as a whole, and I think others do too. So that's my point.
Thank you.
And that's that. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Right now we have unique ID number 026. And then up next will be caller 7456. 026, I will be promoting you now. (026), your speaker order number is number 44. If you will please make note of that for future reference. You can now enable your audio and video in the lower left corner of your screen. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I'd like the Ojai Valley, specifically the cities of Ojai, Miramonte, and Oakview, please. Hello?
Thank you. Go ahead, please.
Sorry, my name is Amy. I'm calling today to ask that you keep the Ojai Valley whole. We are one community of interest. We have our own land conservancy, school district, and way of life. My family and I live here because it fits our lifestyle, and it speaks to the experience of what most of us have in our daily lives in the Ojai Valley. My partner and I live on 1/3 of an acre. We have chickens and pigs on our property. We have internet and Wi-Fi access on our immediate property, but once you drive up the road, you don't until you get down to town. We are surrounded by hiking and biking and horse trails that many of the residents, including my family, use on a regular basis. We care about preserving our open spaces, ensuring that our water is clean, and that we have access to our representatives when it comes to natural disasters like fires. Furthermore, our kids go to the same schools and participate in the same sports leagues. We like our small town community and want to keep it together. In summary, please keep the Ojai Valley whole. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Right now we have caller 7456. If you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 7456, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions for you. Your speaker order number will be 45, if you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know of what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Sure. Hi. I would like to discuss the greater Oxnard area that includes Oxnard, Port Hueneme, and El Rio communities. And so what I want to talk about today is that, Oxnard, Port Hueneme, and El Rio are communities of interest because, we are an agricultural, working class, and farm worker community. Most of our community is Latino, immigrants, and speak Spanish and indigenous language. We have unique economic needs. We, face disparities in housing, education, and healthcare. And, we are a community that oftentimes is split up. So both in the 2001 and then in the 2010 redistricting process, Oxnard always seems to get split up and paired with communities like, and I'm not trying to say anything offensive, but like Thousand Oaks, Moore Park, Ojai, different communities that don't necessarily, have to do with us or who don't represent us in a socioeconomical way. And so we hope to please keep Oxnard, Port Hueneme, and El Rio together in this redistricting cycle. And, if we were to be paired with somebody else, we would like to be paired with Santa Clara Valley. So that would be Santa Paula, Fillmore, and Piru. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would like to invite those that have called in to please press *9 to raise your hand indicating you wish to comment. Please press *9 to raise your hand indicating you wish to comment at this time. Caller 5910, and up next will be caller 1053. Right now we have caller 5910, and up next we have caller 1053. Caller 5910, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 5910, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions. Your speaker order number will be number 47. Will be number 46. If you'll please make note of that for future reference. And if you'll please let the mapper know what area you would like to discuss, the floor is yours.
Hi, perfect. Thank you. Right, so I'm calling in regards to the Oxnard greater area. Hi, my name is Christian Nunez. I'm currently an internet cause, and I'm also calling as a concerned member of this community. So in regards to Oxnard, representation of Oxnard, in my opinion, is very important, simply because of how many people are in that city and the demographic in that city, many working class Latino communities. And currently, Oxnard is grouped with other cities such as Thousand Oaks, Moore Park, and it feels like these other cities and communities have very different needs compared to those in Oxnard. And so when it comes to this redistricting, voting is going to come up, I would just hope to see Oxnard be included in other communities, such as previously stated, Santa Paula, just because I think those kind of those needs align a lot more instead of splitting Oxnard into other communities that maybe don't as much. And so, you know, I believe that the best plan for them in the incoming decade for the city of Oxnard is to keep Oxnard, like the Oxnard district and Ventura County together to the extent possible to best serve the city's interests. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Caller 1053, if you will please follow the prompts to unmute. Caller 1053, you are unmuted. I have a couple of brief instructions. Your speaker order number will be number 47, if you will please make note of that for future reference. And if you have an area you would like to discuss, please let the mapper know what that is. With that, the floor is yours.
Hi, yeah, I'd like to speak about the greater Oxnard area, which includes El Rio, Wainini, and Oxnard. So my name's Anisha DeYoung Dominguez. That's AMISHADEYOUNG-DOMINGUEZ. And I am a long-term resident here in Oxnard. And I urge you guys to keep Oxnard, you know, in one majority POC district. And when I say POC, I mean people of color district. You know, you've gotten a lot of calls from folks from Thousand Oaks and Simi Valley, and I would just take a guess that a majority of them are white who are calling in. And people who call in about Oxnard are predominantly people of color, Latino, or, you know, another minority race. And, you know, it's really unfortunate that you know, the assembly districts have been split between, it was the 37th district and Jackie Irwin's, the 44th district. And there have been examples where, because of our current districting scheme, it basically continues to disenfranchise our, you know, predominantly Latino community. For example, there was a power plant that had plans to be in construction in Oxnard, and neither Assemblymember Doss or Assemblywoman Jackie Irwin took that issue on because it was a fringe, basically it was in a fringe location on both of their districts. However, as you see with, you know, State Senator Hannah Beth Jackson, because she had all of Oxnard and all of Ventura County within her district, she took on that issue and was able to effectively help organize. And we were ultimately, as a community, able to get rid of that power plant. But it was not due to any help that we got from the district as it's currently drawn. And so I would just, you know, urge you to keep in mind that you know, the overwhelming calls that you're getting from other communities. You know, I'm an attorney and I work for farm workers with the state ALRB. And these are people who do not have the luxury to come on a Zoom call or to call in the evenings. They work 10-hour, 12-hour days.
30 seconds.
And so, you know, they don't have the luxury as other folks to call in to make their voices heard. So I urge you to keep all of these power dynamics in mind as you're drawing these lines. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your call.
Thank you. And that was all of our callers at this time, Chair.
Okay, maybe you can go ahead and read the brief instructions again. We'd rather hear from callers than each other.
Me too. The commission will now be taking community of interest input and general public comment for items not on the agenda at this time. To give comment, please call 877-853-5247 and enter the meeting ID number 897-3118-8844 for this meeting. Once you have dialed in, please press star 9 to enter the comment queue. The full call-in instructions have been read previously in this session and are provided in full on the live stream landing page. And we do not have any callers at this time, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. I just want to reiterate, we will continue to take public input and public comment during this session. The phone lines for public input and public comment will close at 8. If there are callers in the queue at 8, we will get to those callers after 8. So let's see, I just want to talk about a few of our upcoming meetings. We have our next Community of Interest Public Input meeting is Saturday, July 24th, focused on Orange County and surrounding areas. Registration closed at 5 tonight for that, but you are more than welcome to call in. We have another public input meeting scheduled next Thursday, July 29th at 4 p.m. Focused on Alameda, Contra Costa, Marin, San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, and Solano counties and their surrounding areas. Registration for that meeting closes Tuesday at 5 p.m. We have a public input design meeting scheduled for Monday, July 26th at 5 p.m. and a business meeting scheduled this Wednesday, July 28th at 9:30 a.m. You are not required to make an appointment to provide input at the COI meetings. However, it is recommended. But you can also call in the day of the meeting. At this time, our meetings will still be held virtually, so anyone in California can provide input. Please go to our website, www.wedrawthelinesca.org for meeting information. In addition, there are other ways to provide input. You can go online and provide input through our Communities of Interest mapping tool at drawmycacommunity.org. The online tool is available in English, Spanish, simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Vietnamese, Tagalog, Korean, Armenian, Farsi, Arabic, Russian, Japanese, Punjabi, Khmer, Hmong, and Thai. And tutorials are also available in those languages. On our website, www.wedrawthelinesca.org, and you can click the Draw My CA community icon to get to the Community of Interest tool. You can submit your input via email at votersfirstact@crc.ca.gov, or by mail, California Citizens Redistricting Commission, 721 Capitol Mall, Suite 260, Sacramento, California, 95814. You can also connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube at We Draw the Lines CA. That is at We Draw the Lines CA, as in California. Katie, it doesn't look like we have any new callers in the queue at this point.
That is correct, Chair. We do not have any callers at this time.
Okay. Well, let's see. We have a few more minutes before 8. I know at least one of our commissioners had a story to share. Well, we learned something new today, at least. The official name of Ventura is San Buenaventura. So we got some interesting new knowledge at this point. I don't know if any other commissioners would like to share experiences they've had in the Central Coast region. Right. I saw Commissioner Sadwani first, then Commissioner Yee.
Sure. So I actually used to be on the faculty of Cal Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks, and actually I was there when I did my interview for the CRC. And so certainly I know several callers had called in talking about the fire dangers that are there, and certainly I was able to see that in that year and as well as the year prior, a huge fire came through right behind the Ronald Reagan Library and Museum, closing down campus, closing down roads. It was certainly quite an experience, and certainly it comes up very, very close, very fast. The fires move very quickly, as I'm sure everyone knows, and so we haven't had any callers with any that have mentioned Cal Lutheran, but that is a private college that liberal arts predominantly school that's based in Thousand Oaks, and used to drive up the 118 every morning to get there. So I don't, I know the area fairly well, but I didn't live there myself.
Thanks, Commissioner Yee.
Yeah, just so much natural beauty in the Central Coast. I think as a boy, I first fell in love with redwoods in the Santa Cruz Mountains at church camps there. And the redwoods there, a little bit south of Big Basin. Of course, Monterey Bay, so beautiful. All the way down to Big Sur. My bucket list, someday run the Big Sur Marathon. Seems like every other car commercial was shot there on Highway 1. But then even inland, Pinnacles. Wow, Pinnacles is an amazing, I think it's a national park now. And just very dramatic and beautiful. And really enjoyed visiting that. So much natural beauty. Of course, there has been fire danger and a big fire in Big Basin. And so we wish the best for everyone there. Boy, we sure love to visit you if we get a chance. Thanks.
Commissioner Anderson, then Fernandez.
Since Commissioner Yee brought up Pinnacles, I've been through that area, been to Pinnacles many times. Actually, that's where the condors are, and I was actually able to see one of the condors in the natural habitat again, which is truly amazing. But I've also been up through the 156. They were talking about in that whole area. I've been through Watsonville, the whole flats, all down around Highway 1, and up through 156 through San Juan Bautista, and down into that whole area, and through that agricultural area, right through Salinas, Soledad, that area. And it's just amazing the amount of crops and things that are grown there. And the people, it's just absolutely delightful. And it's very different from if you go down the coast, which we've also done. The whole family did a whole trip, just starting in at Pacific Grove, and then went all the way down and ended up staying next to Santa Barbara in Carpinteria, and just stayed in all the little places along there and just watched everything. But I don't know which I like better, going inland or on the coast, because it's all so interesting.
Thanks, Commissioner Fernandez.
I'll just go quickly. I was going to talk about San Luis Obispo, but actually I'm going to talk about Monterey County. Because of my prior work, I had to go to Salinas quite a bit. A couple of facilities there, and many people that I traveled with, they would prefer to drive all the way to Monterey than stay in Salinas. But I just got to say, I preferred staying in Salinas because that's where the agriculture was. And I just felt so at home and so comforted, very high Latino population. And even the drive there, I just, as Commissioner Anderson just mentioned, just the fields. I'm probably the odd person out here right now, but anytime I'd rather see a field than, well, I love the coast too, but the field is just really home and the people are just absolutely wonderful. So very dear to my heart.
I'm going to share one last story and then we'll wrap it up. So my wife and I were driving north on 101 through the Salinas Valley, and there's a wine growing region there called Arroyo Seco. So we wanted to get off and go taste some wine. And, you know, when you're on 101, you don't really appreciate it. But when you start driving through the lettuce fields out there, I mean, they go on forever. And it is just strikingly beautiful. I mean, you go to the store and you buy a box of lettuce with all this different colored lettuce in it. But when you see a field that is entirely one color of lettuce and then another color of lettuce and then another, it is just, I mean, really striking, breathtaking. I was, yeah, really took me aback driving through there. It was an experience. All right, well, we have no more callers and we are at 8 p.m. So we will wrap this up. Thank you for joining our Community of Interest Input meeting today. We have upcoming Community of Interest public input meetings on Saturday, July 24th, focused on Orange County and surrounding areas. We have another input meeting next Thursday, July 29th, focus at 4 p.m., focused on Alameda, Contra Costa, Marin, San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara, and Solano counties and their surrounding areas. We have an upcoming public input design meeting on Monday, July 26th at 5 p.m. And our next business meeting is this coming Wednesday, July 28th at 9:30 a.m. Callers at the Community of Interest meetings are not limited to the specifically mentioned counties. You can visit the meetings page on our website to see a list of additional HOI input meetings at www.wedrawthelinesca.org/meeting. With that, I will adjourn this meeting and thank everyone from California who called in to provide input.